Welcome to another video.
Yeah.
In this video, we are going to be discussing our least favorite books of 2021. And we're going to try not to rant too much.
Yeah. Also, I don't know a lot of these authors' names off the top of my head, so.
Oh, no.
Do you know yours?
I wrote them down.
You wrote them down?
Yeah.
All right. Fine. I'll be professional. Do you want me to go first? I have a second category.
Oh, yeah. Then you go first. I only have 11. Or no, I only have 10.
These are in no particular order either. The first worst book I read was Fix Her Up by Tessa Bailey.
We read that together.
Do we say the premise of the ones we don't like?
Fix Her Up is a romance about fixing a house. Why do we hate it?
Because it was weirdly sexual in like a creepy way because he like thought of the lead character as like a little girl.
Yeah, he infantilized her a lot. Like, disturbing amount. And she also is one of those characters that her main quality is that she's quirky.
How is she quirky? Because she works as a clown, like for little kid parties. Oh, so quirky, so weird and different.
Okay, so the first one on my list is kind of representing a whole here, and that's Queen of the Damned by Anne Rice. Anne Rice is strange, like, with her sexual stuff in books. So, Interview with the Vampire is uncomfortable because he has a romantic relationship with Claudia, who looks like a 4-year-old or a 3-year-old, and gross. And then the Vampire Lestat is weird because he has this like strange erotic relationship with his mother. And then Queen of the Damned was so bad that I barely even remember it. And then what was the next one? The Tale of the Body Thief. Yeah, I'm not even, he rapes someone in that. He legit rapes someone in that, but we're supposed to feel bad for him because it's not his fault. It's only because he was in a human body. You can't blame Lestat. It's because of the human body. And then in the next book is when I stopped reading it, is because Lestat was guilting someone for not letting a 35-year-old man or something sexually assault him when he was 15.
Nice.
Bad.
Jesus. Okay, my next one is The Astonishing Color of After by Emily X.R. Pan.
Just going right to the throat, huh?
Throat of whom?
That's one of the biggest books on BookTube.
It's not very good. It's like, okay, a teenage girl's mom dies and she thinks that she's reincarnated into a crane. And you think it's going to be depthful and stuff, and it's not. It's just really long, and it's a bunch of stuff. It's just really boring. I've never seen grief so bland. Sorry.
My next one is The Long Walk by Stephen King.
Oh, wow. Not surprised.
This is my least favorite book, probably of all time. I hated it so much. It was honestly so masturbatory. It felt like, obviously...
I would never expect that from Stephen King.
Obviously, he was trying to have, like, commentary on, like, upper class versus lower class, but also he tried to throw in stuff about, like, toxic masculinity. But at the time, like, okay, this book came out in, like, the 70s or 80s. I'll put it there. I'll leave it there. But then, the main character's best friend in this... The Long Walk's about a bunch of boys who go on a long walk, and whoever makes it to the end gets to ask for whatever he wants, and they have to give it to him, basically. And the lead character's best friend on this walk is an attempted rapist. And that is how it is framed, but we're supposed to feel sorry for him and forgive him for his attempted rape. Gross. And then, genuinely, at the end of the book, you could tell Stephen King was just done writing it, because he sped through the end when everything else was drawn out in such excruciating detail. Hated it. It was terrible.
Next is the worst book I've ever read in my entire life. And I say that with absolutely no exaggeration. Okay? Like, for real, the worst book I've ever read. The Shadows Between Us by Trisha Levenseller. The premise is there's this girl who is the most annoying creature on the entire planet, and she wants to get the Shadow King to fall in love with her and marry her so she can kill him and rule. And we don't really know exactly why she needs it, other than she just wants it. She is so two-dimensional. Like, and also the thing is, it's the writing that's weirdly bad, because I read other books by Trisha Levenseller. I love her Daughter of the Pirate King books, and they're not badly written, but this one, feels like someone who's never even tried writing before. Like it was so bad. Everything was telling, and it was so irritating. I can't explain to you. I sent you clips, audio clips.
Yeah, she did.
It was unreal.
Yeah,
it was unreal how bad it was.
I didn't know why she was reading it.
I don't know either. I wanted it. I thought it was a pretty cover. I like this author. I love the premise, and it was atrocious.
The next one on my list might get some people with pitchforks coming after me. Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett.
The worst. Oh, the worst of 2021?
Yeah.
Oh, I gave that book to my sister.
It's not bad or anything. Like, it's mildly problematic. Like, bad as in morally.
Oh.
It's mildly problematic, and I can see why people like this one, but it fell so flat for me that by the time the book ended, I was so relieved to have it done that it left an impression on me. And the thing is, I don't think Neil Gaiman's a bad writer, and I don't know Terry Pratchett's work very well. I know he's beloved, but I don't think his works for me because I don't like absurdism, and that's what he writes. And that's kind of what Good Omens is, and I didn't like it, so.
My next book is the second worst book I've read this year, which is One to Watch by Kate London. And that's The Bachelorette, but she's fat, and every single thing in her entire life is completely only about her being fat. The way every single person treats her, every single thing done to her or around her is about her being fat. And like, even though she's like, I think a size 15, everyone acts like she's a size 40 or something. And she's on television being recorded, and these bachelors are saying the most grotesque things to her in front of the cameras knowingly, as if they're gonna just ruin their whole lives, because saying that kind of stuff.
Or as if the TV producers would let them. Like, they'd cut that right out.
Yeah, and like,
especially on a like love show.
I don't even understand what was going on. And then I looked up what the author looks like, and she's not fat. And it's just like, do you think that this is how we live our lives? That every single thing that happens to us completely revolves around our weight? Like, are you serious? It was so offensive. And then there's a booktuber I sort of like. I have a weird relationship with how I feel about their videos, but they're just like, I don't know if this was good representation, but like, it was definitely like really good. And it's like, no, it wasn't. You're an idiot. You don't know anything about being overweight, obviously. Right. I was just filled with rage.
All right, number 4 for me is Lisis Story by Stephen King. I haven't been that mad at a book in a while. Because it went from being extremely boring, drawn out, and dull to infuriating in a hot second. Lisis Story is about a woman whose husband dies, and then when she's going through his stuff, someone starts pestering her about a manuscript that he lost, and now she's having to deal with his past. And the way this is handled is so poorly done, so boring. Like, it is every Stephen Kingism that you can think of just slammed into a book that is haphazardly put together and not well thought out. It's not good.
It sucks because this also falls into the category I have with Stephen King, where if he would just cut himself down by a third or more, I think I'd love his books. He just gives himself way too much time, giving me too much time as well, being these. It's like, if you were to get in and get out a little faster, I think cutting some of this would be so good. What are they barking at? Come here. Hey, come here, you dumb dog. Which one is that?
It's Buttercup.
Buttercup?
Oh, is it the car? Is it the truck?
You freaking out?
Come here. Come here.
Hold her up to the camera.
Let
them see her beautiful face.
I don't want to hurt her.
I'll hurt her. Why are you wet?
Oh, she was getting food a second ago, so she probably just dumped her face in water.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
One of our neighbors
has
a
Muppet.
One of our neighbors has like a Jeep and a giant truck, and then one of our neighbors works on cars all the time. So the dogs, you try to protect the house, but
she protects it from.
You know, you couldn't save us.
She's so thick.
Anyway, what's your next one?
You Love Me by Caroline Kepnes.
That's on mine. Yeah, that's after my next one. You Love Me is the third in the Joe Goldberg series. And it's hot garbage.
I didn't like the third season, but it had redeeming qualities. This did not. The premise is that Joe is now in some little beautiful town that he hates because people are fake and everything's gross and everyone's a liar. But not Joe. He doesn't lie ever. Everything's false. But Joe, who has a fake name, in this book his name is something else. He is just getting more and more annoying with every single book. He wasn't a good guy or a likable guy in the first one, but I was entertained.
Yeah. My next one is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. This book made me feel bad inside. I'm gonna leave it at that. It made me feel real bad inside.
My next book is My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. This book had such potential, but it got so stupid and so weird. The premise is probably obvious. 2 teenage girls in the 80s. One of them gets possessed by a demon. If you want my full thoughts on it, we do have a vlog where I read it, and I think my details in that will be better than any details I can give in this, but I thought it was so bad that I was angry by the time I finished it. So that's pretty cool.
My next book is Stardust by Neil Gaiman. And I know earlier I said I don't think he's a bad writer or anything, and I'm about to contradict myself a little bit. So Neil Gaiman, he's come a long way, let's say, from his early days. Because if you read Sandman, there's a whole lot of problematic stuff, and he's talked about it. He knows it's problematic. He knows there's things he would like to change. And, the first time I read Sandman, I liked it a lot. The second time I read it, I thought I'd like it even more because I knew the problematic stuff, and I thought it would bother me less. And instead, it just bothered me more to the point where I can't have any affection for Sandman now. I just don't like it. And Stardust kind of accentuates that. So Stardust is about this boy who lives in a village, and he is half fairy. The village is like right up against a fairy, like the fairy woods or whatever. And he's madly in love with this girl because she's pretty. And she points to the sky where there's a falling star, and she says, if you bring me that falling star, I will marry you. So he's just like, okay. And he goes to the other side of the fairy wall or whatever to find the falling star, and it turns out the fallen star is a woman, and this woman is a MacGuffin. Everyone wants her because of her magic, and he wants her so he can marry this other girl just because she's pretty. And the entire book is him trying to kidnap this poor fallen star and force her back over the wall, even though it will kill her. And she's willing to do it. And then they get to the wall. Oh, at first she hates him, and she's just like, absolutely not, fuck you. But they get to the wall, and he finally changes his mind, and he goes into town. The girl's just like, how could you have done that? I thought you were joking. I'm married to someone else now, because he was gone for a while or something. And then he gets married to the fallen star, who had no personality, and was just a MacGuffin. They had no relationship, and I hated it. It was like, Neil Gaiman kind of prides himself on being like, he has this quote just like, I like stories where the girl saves themselves. And
where?
Yeah, like, it's not, he doesn't do that. Like, he can pat himself on the back for having gay Sleeping Beauty, but at the same time, it's just like, that's the easiest, laziest thing to do to show that you can represent, is take a fairy tale and make it gay. So, those are my opinions on Stardust and Neil Gaiman. I don't think he's a bad man, and I do think he wants to, represent, if you wish. Also, his other like, representation that he points to is, like, someone once was just like, so you only like girl sex, you don't like guy sex? And he said, have you never heard of American Gods? And the gay sex that I remember from American Gods was someone being possessed and murdered through the gay sex. It's probably not the best representation there. So yeah, I don't know. It rubbed me the wrong way because I don't like it when people pat it. It's like Joss Whedon patting himself on the back for being such a feminist.
The good news is everyone hates Joss Whedon now. I don't want anyone to hate Neil Gaiman.
No, I don't think he's a bad man.
I think Neil Gaiman means well in a way that Joss Whedon has never meant well. Yes. Also, I love Neil Gaiman.
Yeah, I don't think he's a bad man. I think that
he's of his age, which is not his fault.
Yeah, so that's my opinion.
Buttercup, God, you look so sad. My next book is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell.
Oh.
That one's a lot of people love Fangirl. I don't understand why.
Am I pushing you over here?
No, I'm fine. I do not understand how people can like Fangirl. There's a lot of books I don't like that it's like, okay, I get it. But Fangirl, Levi is so mean to Kath. He calls her stupid all the time. Like, for real. He calls her stupid. And it's not cute. He didn't even get joy out of the little Simon and Baz bits of the story that we got. It just, all the friends seemed mean. Everyone was mean to each other all the time. I hate it. I hate that book. And I was unhauling it, and my little sister saw it, and she's like, oh my God, tons of people talk about this. Can I have it? And I was like, sure. So if she ever reads it and gives me an update, I will update you.
My next book is The Turn by Kim Harrison. It is a study in why prequels are always a bad thing.
Every time.
In this book, it follows transparents who are both terrible people, who one does something really terrible and the other one's trying to fix it, and they're just manipulative of each other, trying to get each other killed throughout the whole book until the end where they get together by force. And she has continuity errors within the book, and she has continuity errors within the series, and this book didn't need to exist.
We have a whole huge long thing about this also. I don't know which vlog it is. Are you done with this?
Yeah.
I'll toss it back on the bed. We don't know which vlog it is, but we do have extensive thoughts, or she does and I listen, basically, because I didn't read it. I haven't finished the Kim Harrison.
It should be in the
series.
thumbnail. The turn should be in the thumbnail. So.
Are you okay, Butterscotch?
Never.
My next book is The Wicked Deep by Shea Earnshaw. And I remember so little about this book that I'm going to try and say the premise. It's basically Hocus Pocus, but the worst. These girls, these sisters, were killed as witches because they were pretty and men wanted to sleep with them. They killed them. They threw them into the water. Many, many, many years later, spoilers, the witches sort of come back a little bit, and one of them takes the body of the main character and likes to live in it for every summer. And in this particular summer, as the other girl, she had sex with a boy, and I got so angry. So angry. I hate it. It's bad. Don't read it. The cover's pretty. What a waste. Buttercup.
My next book is Bag of Bones by Stephen King. We're going to have a whole huge vlog on this. So, that's exclusive to Bag of Bones. So you'll get thorough details on why I hate it there.
We're doing a full episode of Comedy Tragedy Book Club, so stay tuned. My next book, Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. I also talked extensively about that book and why I hate it. I won't get into a big rant here other than just such a hateful book. I hate the book.
And my last book is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. Sorry.
Isn't Christina Hendricks from Mad Men?
I think I was going to say Christina Henry, which is a different writer. But The Soulmate Equation is about a woman who gets forced into joining this matchmaking program that runs their DNA through a system and finds their perfect match based on their DNA. And it was a waste of my time.
You can guess once you fully understand the premise what the end is going to be, and when you guess it, just know that you're correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Truth of the Divine by Lindsay Ellis. I also have many. That one I read this month. So very recently, there's a vlog where I talk about that. Just the first one wasn't great, but it was definitely set up for the next ones. And to me, what it felt like is that she wants to do 5 books in a series, and she doesn't want the alien and the main character to get together until probably the last one. So she's putting it off in really stupid, predictable ways. I just found this book to be terrible in a lot of ways. It really disappointed me. Oh, my last book is White Smoke by Tiffany D. Jackson. This one I didn't find offensive. I just found it bad. That's all I'll say. I also have dishonorable mentions. We'll start with this. My dishonorable mentions are books that I started and didn't finish. My worst books are only books that I finished. My dishonorable mentions are ones that I had to stop because they were so terrible. First up, The Matzo Ball by Jean Miltzer. You probably know why I stopped reading. Me and Sarah were going to buddy read this for Hanukkah because it's Hanukkah this week.
That's in the Hanukkah vlog.
Yeah. It's Hanukkah this week, and I was very disappointed in that one. My next is Casino Royale by Ian Fleming. Couldn't get through it. Very of its time. I understand that. I know that in my heart, but it was just so bad that I couldn't even finish it. Next, Touch of Darkness. What's her name? Something Saint Scarlet. I feel bad because this is like, I think like a 20-year-old girl who lived her best life and got popular on TikTok because lots of books get popular on TikTok, and you do you, ma'am, but it was not good. It's Persephone and Hades retelling, and I just did not get any joy out of it. And I Darken by
Kirsten White.
Is that Kirsten White?
It's Kirsten White.
I hated that. I read a chapter and the main character is so irritating that I couldn't handle it and I stopped. Sharp Objects is on that's the only one I finished on my dishonorable mentions. Oh, no, there's the last one too. Okay. You Know Why for Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn.
Yeah.
Gillian Flynn. The last one, Bunny by Mona Ayard, I think that's her name.
Awad,
I believe. This book was supposed to obviously be absurd and weird and stuff. Absolutely not for me. I thought it was atrocious. It was such a weird mess that I could barely understand what's going on. Call me stupid in the comments if you like the book and I just don't get it. Go ahead. But I hated it. Oh my god, beautiful ducky. Hello, beautiful baby. I love you.
Well, I guess I hope you enjoyed our pain.
Yeah, I hope it's worth it for someone. Oh my god, my baby. That's Wookiee. I could tell by her fur.
If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, comment, and or subscribe.
Yeah, tell all your friends so that we can get recommended.
We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Goodbye.